Lana Scott. Welcome back to the Lighthouse Tribe. So, guys, I was in the process. I was getting ready to start putting my cards away. I've already done 2 readings today, and they kept telling me angel, angel. So, putting the angel card up here, I specifically pulled it, okay, and I kept hearing activation. So I went ahead and I pulled the activation card. I said, okay, and I went to reach for a certain deck. And guys, I kid you not, the box for the native spirit deck, which was on the other side of the table, just all of a sudden just fell off the table. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take that as the deck that you want me to use. So, guys, those are the types of signs and synchronicities that you sometimes can get when it feels like you're not sure which direction you're going, or you're just opened up to whatever spirit's going to bring in, and all of a sudden you get a direct something happens that makes you stop and pause, right? That's when those signs and synchronicities start going. So this feels like the angels are wanting to talk about some kind of activation. I don't know if it's a person, or I know we've got some activations coming up simply because of what's going on with the readings that are coming out in general, okay? And I feel like, they've always, I was hearing for all of 24 how, or for 23, how 24 was going to, have some big things happen, and it feels like we have. And then I'm feeling like after Pluto goes into Aquarius, a lot of more things are going to come up, which is going to be December, January of next year, at the end of this year and next year. So I'm just wondering what other kind of messages, activations, what are the things the angels want certain people to know about. So because I felt compelled to pull those cards, I'm going to, and they literally threw this deck at me, and see, that almost fell over there. Let me see what this is. Grandfather Sky. So the sky's the limit, okay? So we're going to put that up there. I'm going to see, because that's not really a person. That's something that to me can, the sky's the limit, right? I'm also feeling like I'm hearing messages from the universe, messages in the clouds, messages in the sky, messages on the wind. So I believe that there's more people out there that pick up messages and what they think they do, because they're so very subtle sometimes. And I think sometimes the universe talks to us with trees, with birds, with all kinds of different signs and synchronicities. And that's what I feel like that I'm picking up on right now, is that in a bigger way than what we normally get. And I think there's going to be like that in the future, that people are going to be getting messages and become more in tune to that. Okay, so Spirit of Earth. So you may be an Earth sign, Taurus. Let's see, what else? Earth. Taurus, Virgo. What's the other one? Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. That's what it is. I'm sorry, guys. Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. So maybe you're a Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. Okay, or maybe even more so, the spirit of the earth is going to speak to you. Okay, more signs and synchronicities coming from falling leaves, sitting there by the bank of a river before winter comes in, and watching the river flow, and just feeling, going into, like I'm seeing somebody sit next to flowing water of some sort, and kind of relaxing and opening up their third eye and getting messages from the universe for that, okay? Messages coming in. So and maybe that activates you in some kind of way, right? That it starts you on looking up something, or following a path, or even going back to starting. I'm seeing somebody getting like symbols or some kind of messages come in. They go back, they start writing them down, and they start writing down stuff every time feel like they get a message. And then after an amount of time, like a month or two, they go back, they look, and all of a sudden they just see it. You know what I'm saying? In their third eye. Okay, so some kind of maybe third eye activation going on too. I'm wanting to pull some runes here, and I'm feeling the green ones. So this feels like the angels are activating some of you with, as far as like on the dream. See, this is nighttime, this is nighttime, this is either the sun coming up or the sun going down. Maybe some of you are getting also dreams, very psychic dreams coming in. And they're showing me like a group of people, all like sleeping in their beds, husbands and wives and couples and single people, and just everyone in those little bubbles above their heads, where they're dreaming different dreams and getting messages, signs, and synchronicities. Ancestral, shedding skins, ancestral land. Somebody may be called to go revisit what they feel like are ancestral lands in some kind of way. And then look, very next room, signs and synchronicities. Oops, I dropped it. Guys, are so these rooms are so, they're not square, they're all just natural stones. So they're very slick, okay? So signs and synchronicities. Maybe someone travels back home and gets some messages. Maybe you go home for microcosm, macrocosm, and groups. It feels like some of you might be getting, maybe you go back home and you see some relatives, and I'm hearing the storyteller in my head too. Maybe y'all spend some time over the holidays or something like that, and you start really listening and paying attention to the stories of your family. I feel like somebody might even get the idea to start writing some of those stories down. Maybe you've got I'm hearing one strong lineage in your family, like maybe you're mostly Indian or mostly Irish or mostly English or Scandinavian, and your grandparents start telling stories of the good old days, and somebody decides to start writing those down. I feel like somebody might decide to write those down. Maybe that opens up a pathway to you getting activated to wanting to write about your family history, and you learn something along the way, okay, in signs and synchronicities, and from your elders. Maybe something along your female line that now brings some kind of flow in your life. Maybe you never thought you wanted to be an author. Now all of a sudden you've decided, well, the sky's the limit. I can do whatever I want. And you decide you want to start writing something. Okay? Now, haggle is elemental disruption, opportunity, sometimes disguised as loss or something like that. But I feel like today it's talking about home and things that go on at home. They're actually telling me to look at it as a letter. And I'm picking up home. I'm picking that up with this ancestral land as well. So maybe a new path for somebody, they get activated, and that's where you're starting and that's where you're ending, I feel like. Okay, so this is a little bit different of a message than what I normally get. So this is feeling like somebody starts on ancestral lands and it brings you home, or it's about home in some sort of way. Guys, take that how that resonates, okay? And they're saying that's the end of that there. There's one more rune trying to jump on my hand. Let me see what this is. Completion of beginnings. Completion of beginnings. So this is a new beginning for someone. When you go back home, or something that feels like home to you. Maybe it's not even your home, but whatever feels like home to you, there's some kind of a message they're trying to come through that you're going to see in signs and synchronicities. I'm seeing somebody go into a house and looking at the pictures on the walls and going, oh, I forgot about this. And it leads you on something. It leads you to something. Something about home, guys. Take how that comes in for you. That feels like some kind of home that leads off to a new beginning. Oh, wow, I cannot believe they're actually telling me to grab that deck. I just got them saying the other day, hang on, guys, let me grab this other deck. Because there was a card in here at one time. So they're actually telling me map deck. I haven't pulled this deck in quite a while. And I'm hearing the compass card in my mind. Let me see if something jumps out here, guys. I haven't pulled this deck in a long time. What do you want to tell them? What fell? Moonlight. The Moonlight card fell. So using your intuition and gaining some wisdom by going home, you're going to learn something. Okay? Somebody's going to learn something by going home. This is a 6 card, so this is nostalgia. So some kind of nostalgia. And look, today the hourglass to me is making me feel like history. Like in the past, timelines, going into the future, at the border of, at the edge of. It feels like somebody's at the, oh gosh, what's that word? Like at the precipice of some kind of breakthrough that has something to do with home, wisdom, and something you find out. And again, that's that activation too, guys. Okay. Okay, so what else is it you want to tell them? So you might, okay, so dry desert. So this feels like this is where you're at right now, but it feels like this is maybe somebody that's not sure which way they want to go. But when you go back home, okay, because this is a 4 card, 3 + 1 is 4, which is also, I just uploaded, well, I'm going to be uploading a 444 message that came in really strong with the ancestors and the angels. So, and it's talking about being in the right place and peace and stuff like that. So maybe this is where you have to go to find your peace, okay, is something to do with home or ancestral lands. And when you go there, it helps bring some kind of a clarity because of this. You know what I'm saying? It brings some kind of a clarity for you. What else? What else? What else? Deep freeze. This may be something that you don't experience right away. This may be something that's so I'm being reminded of a dream that I had. It's really kind of weird. So I had a similar dream. The place of it was like just different aspects of the same place, and it was one of these kind of weird cities that half of it was underground, and then there was a top half too. I've had this dream about this place 3 different times now, and each time I got stuck in the bottom, going around and around and around, trying to figure out how to get out, how to get out. I kept ringing all these different people, doing all these different things, and it was just kind of weird. And then, like, the first one I had that started on this little series of dreams that I've been having, one started off in my childhood home, which I have not been in over 40 years. So, I don't know. It just feels like that unless you go through this, whatever home is, it feels like to you that, I mean, it just feels like stuck in a rut, guys. Stuck in a rut, and that going back home in some sort of way is what's going to fix it, or what's going to complete the beginning that leads you somewhere else. Look at the bottom of the deck, guys. Magical map shifter. Protecting treasure. Encouragement. So, I'm just going to say this. It just feels like somebody needs to take time out to revisit home. Whatever home means to you. Maybe it's a phone call to a best friend, a place you need to actually go to get this kind of shift, because I don't know if you're being urged in another direction, or maybe it's this activation that urges you in another direction that you just didn't think that you were going to go, right? Okay? Because it feels like she's in the dry desert, nothing's been happening, but she's starting to get the idea that something in the past is maybe going to lead her in the future. And froze for a little bit in an icy world. This could also mean that you're going from the south to the north, or to a place that's where I feel like something's being held for you. It feels like the frozen means something's being held for you. I'm getting this hold feeling. So this might be what's going on that you're not aware of, it feels like. That something is trying to break through in your subconscious to tell you this. Okay? Dry desert, deep freeze. Something that you're just not quite seeing yet. But I feel like it's coming because you've got the magical map shifter, which could be the actual activation itself, and encouragement to keep going forward. Okay? So this is a 7 card and this is a 9 card. So it feels like at some point, after this completion of this beginning, with this activation, that something's going to be made known to you that's going to shift up everything, and then your angels and ancestors are going to be, or even those from the past, those older than you, are going to be encouraging you to keep going forward. Okay, does that make sense? It makes sense to me. So, and I'm just picking up this huge thing of home. Okay, so maybe somebody just needs to go home or call home. And then, guys, I just shuffled again. Look what's on the bottom. Cleaning house. Maybe there's even some things you need to get rid of. It's so weird to me. Sometimes when I shuffle the cards, the card on the bottom seems to be the one that has the biggest message. So maybe going home will clean out the cobwebs for you. Okay? That's gonna, once you have this activation, it just feels like that's, spirit of place. They're pointing at place. Somebody needs to go somewhere where some kind of, where they're going to be activated, where the sky's the limit, and you could be an earth sign, and things are now going to shift and are going to go forward for you. Okay? It feels like this actually kind of goes in here, but this actually, well, like the overall energy, but it feels like it's just kind of, it's kind of going, does that make sense, guys? It feels like it's like this. It's like going across these, okay? So take that how that comes in for you. But it feels like when you get to this point, your intuition's telling you something. The angels are bringing you this message. So take it however it comes in for you, okay? And I'm going to leave it right there because this feels like a small message, but it feels like it's an important one that's coming up for somebody. Okay? And I just noticed, guys, this is a 10. The last one, this is a 10 card. So that's definitely 7, 9, 7, 8, 9, and then 10. So this is, you're definitely being guided somewhere. Something that you're just not seeing. And something about home. All right, guys. I'm going to leave it right there. This is an angel message from the angel realm for someone. You're being activated. Lighthouse.